and welcome to another episode of Erin and Clinton's movie review.
What is our
Could
show
you tell I
called
forgot
again?
for a split
Yes.
second?
What is that? What are we doing?
I do other channels and other shows, so I was like, wait a minute, which one are we doing right now?
Oh wait, we're doing our little intro.
Oh, God darn it. We always forget our intro. It's because it's been over a year, almost 2 years since we've done this, so we're forgetting our intro. So let's start the
Movie review?
show. Let's start the show.
Oh, the show.
Okay, we're back. So today we are doing...
The platform.
Wow. Now this movie...
Ugh.
This was a weird movie.
It affected me in ways that most movies don't.
It affected her worse than it did me. Like the next 2 or 3 days she was talking about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Not even,
it's
it's like, I still think about it. It's ooh.
What was it? I forgot, Amazon or Prime Time? Or...
It was on Netflix.
It was Netflix, okay.
Yeah, so Netflix bought it after it had done its rounds in the festivals.
Oh yeah, because it's a foreign film.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, Mexico. It's a Mexico movie.
Yeah, it's a foreign film, and
It's in Espanol.
Espanol. It's in Mexican.
It's in Espanol.
It's in Spanish, but you hear it in English. And honestly, they did a really good job overdubbing the voices. Because usually those movies are so, you can tell the voice is so off.
It wasn't it like a portion of the time you're just like, I didn't even realize they were
it took a few
overdubbing
minutes.
it. Yeah.
It took probably 10-15 minutes before I even realized it was a
I was
foreign.
like, yeah, the whole time. He's like, when did that start happening? I was like, it's been
this
that way the whole
time.
time.
It's like, what? I didn't even notice. So they do a good job overdubbing it. So it's not going to have that feeling like a lot of them do where it takes you out of the movie a little because the voice is so not matched up. Or like it's like this little tiny guy, hey, walking over, like, and the voice is like, hey, move out. And you're just like, that makes no sense.
And the inflections were right. It made sense when, he's yelling.
Yes.
It made it just made sense.
Really good job.
Yeah. So the original title is actually in Spanish, and it's called El Hoyo, which means means the hole, which is actually the original title, but they changed it to the platform for Netflix.
Which makes more sense to me.
Yes.
The whole makes sense too.
It makes sense too because it is a big giant hole.
It's this for the. You want to explain the plot kind of a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just read this little. It says.
Sorry, but just in case it's your first video, some spoilers. We do talk about the movie.
Yes.
Obviously, that's why we're here.
It's on Netflix, so seriously, just go look up the platform.
Yeah.
You'll want to see it. You'll want to see it.
If you're into freaky movies.
So it's a virtual prison with 1 cell per level, 2 people per cell. Got that? Okay. Only 1 food platform and 2 minutes per amount of time to eat on your platform. An endless nightmare trapped in the hole.
So to visually understand this, imagine a squared room, and it's all cemented. A bed on one side, all cement. A bed on one side, a bed on the other side. It's the 2 people. The room's exact same on both sides.
There's like a sink.
The sink in the bathroom,
and
in the middle,
a toilet.
or whatever. Yeah. But in the middle, like a cutout. That's cut out square, and let's say you're on floor number 1. Or whatever, or 2, I guess, floor 1, 2 or whatever. The very top, it starts with the platform, and it's got all the greatest food and drinks and everything on it. And it goes down that first level, and those 2 get 2 minutes to eat whatever they want.
Yeah.
But they cannot keep anything. They can't keep anything.
Yeah, they have to eat it while it's on their floor.
They gotta throw all their stuff they're done eating, throw it back on there, and then it goes to the next floor. So the first couple of floors, okay, second, third, little girls' floor. But can you imagine when you're at the 20th, the 30th, the 100th, the 200th floor? Yes, it goes that far. Can you imagine? And by then, people are so resentful, they're peeing on it,
peeing and pooping and spitting.
It's just, it's a gross movie. So
it's gross.
If you're into gross stuff, but I mean, and it does get a little gory too. There's some scenes
there's blood.
Yeah, there's blood.
There's blood. There's lots of blood, and there's like a cannibalism and
True.
So you got to think, if you're if this is happening, the food is going down each level and the food is getting more and more scarce. When you're on the 200th floor, say, do you really think there's going to be food on that platform anymore? No. So are you going to go a whole 30 days without eating?
That's a good thing you said. So you get 30 days, and then I don't know how they figured it out. It's just random. At least it seems random. They figure out where your next thing.
Yeah.
So what they do is at the end of the 30 days, they pump in this gas. You fall asleep, so you don't wake up. They move you to a different level. So you might wake up on level 3 or 4 and be like, yes! You might wake up on level 200 like, oh my god, this is not going to work out well. And
so let's just say the story is based around this main character that he volunteers to go into the platform.
You're all idiot.
He volunteers to go on the platform, and the reason he volunteers is because they promise him that he's going to get a degree, which will help his future. He'll be able to go out and get better jobs and all this stuff. So he's like, they tell him at the beginning, we will choose how much time you will be in this platform. So he doesn't get to say, hey, I want to go in there for a month. You know, he's like, he basically says, yes, I'll go in for however long you want me to. Yeah. And they choose 6 months. Oh, and they get to choose one item to go in with.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's like Naked and Afraid. You get to bring one item with you. So don't bring duct tape, okay? Yeah. Although duct tape is really well in Naked and Afraid.
Yeah,
I'm surprised at how many things you can use duct tape for. It's amazing. But so that's a good point. And remember, even the guy that was in there said, you chose to come here?
Yes, exactly.
Seriously? Because clearly the outside world doesn't know how bad it is in there. They think it's more of a punish for this and that. And they think it's to help rehabilitate people.
See, that is my whole thing is, sorry to interrupt you, but this is my one thing.
Are you serious? Everyone out there that's watching any videos got you're apologizing to him. All he does is interrupt you. That's how I talk to everybody. So don't think I'm mansplaining to her. It's not because she's a woman. I'm doing this. I interrupt everybody. When I get excited, I start talking. So I apologize to you if it's annoying. I do apologize. I'm not trying to do that. And I apologize to you, baby. And the reason I don't apologize to her is because she's so used to it by now. And I apologize.
I'll get my point out eventually. That's usually how it works.
If you see me kind of jerking it, she's kicking me down there to shut up. So I'm sorry, baby.
Now I just totally
I'm sorry. I'll let you get your train of thought. Figure out what you're gonna say while I'm telling you. So the movie, it will get gory, and it does get that. And there's also another scene on there where a girl actually is on the platform, and she comes down, not on there for like here for you guys. It's like she probably was somewhere in there. She's looking for her son.
Daughter.
Daughter.
I
thought it was son.
Nope.
This is why I got her here. It was her
her child.
Looking for her child. There you go. Yes. She's so diplomatic with me. She's looking for her son, and I mean, God darn it!
Wow, her child.
I was trying to be nice and say you're away, and then I said it the wrong way. Still, she's looking for her child. I should just listen to the first place. She's looking for her child, and so that's a whole weird thing. And you know, I don't want to spoil alert that one about what happens.
That one's really interesting.
It's kind of interesting how that goes, and was Okay, so we're not gonna spoil alert that one, but watch it to see what's going on with her with that.
Yeah, so there's one thing we were talking that I remember now. What we were talking about how the outside world doesn't know how bad it is in the hole. This pisses me off because honestly, how do they not? Because for one, okay, so the main character, he has 6 months to go in there, and then then he's out, right? So why wouldn't he be like, hey, don't go in there. Yeah. That place sucks. Or, this is my other thing, and people are probably going to think like, okay, well, if he doesn't, if he goes in there and then nobody comes out, because clearly a lot of people are dying in this thing, if nobody's going out, then wouldn't you be like, hey, whatever happened to Bob? He went into that hole and he never came back out. I've been watering his flowers for 6 months and he has not come back out. So, I mean... Wouldn't anybody notice? Like, this is not a place to go. Why would you volunteer? And
if you want to skip 30 seconds ahead of the video because you don't want to hear the spoiler, that's fine. But you can hear what I'm saying right here. But sorry, it's burp. I cannot remember. I found a brain fart. Does he get out in the end?
We don't know. Oh, remember the ending that we were like that knocked us down a peg?
Yes, and we're like, seriously? Oh, okay. So the ending is disappointing because this is one thing we both heavily agree on. Movies that leave an open ending, you decide. You figure out what happened. That's not why we're watching the movie.
No, we want you to conclude it for us.
You don't read the book or watch the movie or get into a story because you want, well, let me figure it out. Yeah. I'm not talking about certain learning things, or they're trying to teach you, give you a lesson or something. That's different. This was not about a lesson you were supposed to learn. This is just a movie. So the idea of just, well, I guess he maybe went to, why? What? I want to know what the writers, like when I watch alien movies or stuff like that, and they kind of leave it up for interpretation of what happened. Don't do that. I want to know what your ideas of how it is, what happened, or what could possibly happen.
I can't stand it. And
that's what we're watching.
That is this movie to the T. It leads you all the way up to the end, and then he's just walking away in the darkness, and you're like,
but it's still, I still think it's worth a watch, for sure. For sure worth a watch.
I'm telling you, this movie completely affected me in so many different ways. It was gruesome and dark and dirty, but at the same time, like, I could not stop thinking about it. I kept thinking about how if this were real life, or if this were, like, say, not something that you could volunteer for, but like it's prison. Yeah. Like, if this were actually how prison was, do you think a lot of people would do a lot less crimes?
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, and even it's like, you know, how he went in for 6 months. Like, if this was prison and someone say, hey, stole some groceries, and they had to go into this thing for 2 months, you know, they would still not want to go in. Like, sure. I mean, if you knew how horrible it was, and this is where you had to go because you did something wrong, I think it would be so much less crime.
Well, much
less crime.
And that's kind of the argument that we have in this country about, I'm not going to get too deep into that politics thing, but just about freedom and stuff like that. And it's like, we consider freedom and liberty, we're allowed to make mistakes, stuff like that, more serious. But like you look like Singapore or something like that, where you can't even chew gum.
Right.
And like you could get like I don't remember what it is, but I know, I don't know if it's still this way. I haven't looked into it, but I remember years ago it was like you could get your hand chopped off if you got caught stolen.
Yeah, I don't think it's that way anymore.
I don't think it is, but either way, those countries that were hardcore like that, you're right, they had no crime. But then again, it's like, do you want to live in a country that's that hardcore?
Right,
dude?
you're living in fear at all times.
And but it doesn't affect us enough if you just don't see it.
I don't think that's what this movie is portraying. Like, people do know what's going on and they still somehow volunteer. Just because from seeing how he was when he was in the interview with the lady and he was just talking about it and everything, it seemed like he was excited to go in there.
For sure, yeah.
So why would you be excited in a place that you may know could be a really dangerous place? And why would you bring a book? Because that was his thing. He brought a book, and he was in there for 6 months.
The other guy has a big old knife.
You brought
a book?
Yeah, some other guy brought a machete. What do you think's going to win
between us two?
Yeah, there's a guy had a machete. There was another guy who had a samurai sword. I mean, hi. Yeah. Like, they clearly knew what they were getting into.
Exactly.
But... And there was the other thing is I think there was some that did volunteer and they actually brought weapons in because they wanted to fight. They wanted to do it.
Yeah, there's so many people that would volunteer because they would like to
they wanted
go for that.
They had that was their excuse to like kind of be violent.
Like I just said about Naked and Afraid, there's people that volunteer to be dropped off in some of the most craziest places in the world. Naked. Okay, so we've got nutballs out there.
With one item.
And believe me, I'm knocking them a little big phone, but I look up to those people that are willing.
Hardcore.
And you could go naked and survive. You are bad to the ass. Yeah. I am sorry. That is.
I still think that show would do well even if they weren't naked.
I agree too, but I got.
Or at least give them shoes.
No, you know what? It would do well, but this is the thing though. I can remember myself. When I first saw Naked and Afraid, if it just said survival or something unknown, I would have probably skipped right by because there's another survival show. The Naked thing, like what? It made me get into it, and then I realized, okay, it's not really about being naked. It's not like
it's just about surviving, but then at the same time, there's no clothes.
In the beginning, I thought it was kind of a ploy, like we'll show cute girls kind of naked, and it's gonna get people to watch. It's gonna be more about that, and like, oh god, not that.
I think most of the girls on there are probably pretty cute. I think
I wouldn't say most of them, but
well, I would think they are.
But either way, the point is that I thought it was going to be more that was going to be the ploy, but they've clearly had some women and men that are not
cute,
easy on the eyes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Especially naked. Most of us aren't, me included.
I think a lot of them probably joined because they wanted to lose the weight.
Yeah. Well, the one guy, remember,
some chunky dudes.
The one guy quit smoking. He quit smoking like the day before. He said this is again, and he started throwing up like crazy because going through heavy withdrawals. No, you can't quit smoking and then not eat, not have water to drink, not be cold. I mean, you need to have those other amenities by you to help you get through that.
Some comforts to get through
this guy,
I mean,
he couldn't last, man. I remember he was having a hard time. But so I'm sorry. What was my main point about all this? I kind of got sidetracked.
That people volunteer for.
So when you were so you were kind of saying, oh no, the point I was making about like the phones and stuff. I'm not saying that that we. I'm kind of forgetting the point I was making. That we don't know about. We do know about it, but we don't truly know enough about. So like maybe people know a little bit. I've heard rumors it's bad that this platform there's something goes on there, but they don't know enough about what truly goes on in there. I mean, this is all just me
speculating.
Going off the top of my head.
But I mean, even the lady that interviewed him, remember she ended up going into the platform, and she literally worked for the company. And she was even saying she had no idea.
She didn't know it was that bad.
Like how crazy it was in here. And then she went in there because she had, spoiler, she had cancer, and she was like, I'm not gonna live for the next 6 months or whatever. So I just wanted to die doing something to give back. Because she was saying she was trying to correct the way things were in there. Like she knew that things were not great, but at the same time,
didn't realize
how bad it was. Yeah, because she was trying to convince the people below her to only take a portion of the food so that everybody could get food.
Yes.
Yeah, because she I mean, clearly people were not getting food at the bottom, and she must have known that because she was like, everybody just take your allotted food. She's like, literally on this platform. And if you think about it, that was the thing. That was the whole point of this thing. Is that on that platform there was enough food for all levels.
Right.
If everybody took a certain small portion every day, they could have survived. But the whole movie, and I believe is what they're trying to portray, is that the greed of people take over when it comes to getting your own versus like worrying about somebody else.
Greed and survival. Let's be honest. It's not just greed. I mean, you're right because you start to go, but it's almost like you're forced into being that way because if you've been on the 100th floor and you're trying to eat a bone marrow out of a bone, you know what I mean? Because you've got nothing. By the time, and also you wake up and you're that floor, you're like, ah, you know what I mean? And not only that, you can see there's also a strategy to it too, because you can think about being nicer and this and that, but what if you get down those bottom floors and they're not nice and you don't get anything?
Right.
So when you're up there, you're thinking, I gotta plump up.
Right.
I've got to start eating now, and
and then I'm gonna have to live on water for another month.
And that's another thing about Naked and Afraid. The people that go in there, you think, oh, look how overweight they are. They do really well because they've got so much extra. I mean,
and they're able to burn off the
extra fat.
weight.
Yeah, your body eats that fat when you've got no food. It starts eating that,
and you can just drink water and survive longer than that 20-pounder.
That's all.
Like
that's super
in there.
shape that back back at home would run circles around you.
Yeah.
But here, your body's like got stuff to survive off, and so they do.
True.
So you can see going. You know what? F these people. I'm not going to survive if I don't plump up. So it's a tough decision. And it's easy to, on the outside, be like, well, I would be more fair and try to get everything. But I would think I'd be just like them. I would be eating like a crazy person, especially if I knew that I was going to be going down to a floor where I'm not going to survive. I'm not going to be a cannibal. Sorry, I'm not going to be eating people. So I'm literally going to be drinking water. But I don't think I ever would. But I don't know, man. If you were
put in a desperate situation.
And I'm not saying go kill someone. I
feel like I would just be like, take my body, because I'm not going to be the one.
Kind of like, we won't give it away, but there's a part where there's kind of something similar that happens like that in one of the parts. I think
I would sacrifice myself, before I would become the
go to that level. Yeah.
I'd become the meal versus.
Yeah. Well, it's just like when I'm watching Naked and Afraid. I'm sitting here like eating this, laying back on the bathroom. I'm like, come on, you wussies, come on! What are you? Look at her shaking in the cold. Get with it. I'm like stuffing with chicken grease all over my face. How could they be that cold?
I could do that.
Her wusses. But another thing I did want to say real quick about the platform is if you do take an item off there and try to keep it,
the room either
the room turns red and they start to pump heat in there,
or cold,
or it turns I don't know if it turns blue, but or they pump coldness in there, and so you either
it's unlivable.
So you cannot take anything because they've obviously got cameras and every single thing they can watch. You cannot take anything because they will just blast you.
It said it'll burn you to the point where you'll just become like a blob
or freeze you. So like there was one where remember the dog, was it a dog or a cat? The dog got a little piece,
dachshund,
and it starts turning like, what's going on? Like, he's got a piece. I'm running like, get it,
trying to get the dog.
Get it.
Someone actually brought a dog in for their one item.
Yeah.
Really,
oh God.
Really, a dog.
A dog.
As soon as I saw the dog in the movie, I was like, well, that dog's gonna die.
That dog's gonna be eaten.
It's like I'm not gonna get attached to this dog because he's gonna die.
Give me a bun because he's about to be a hot dog.
Yeah, he gone.
He gone. But so there's definitely
it was a deep movie, and that's why I liked it. Is because I feel like there was a deeper message.
It wasn't just gore, like I can't stand like gore doesn't bother me, but I can't stand movies that are just pure gore slasher flick. Yeah. There's nothing to that to me. Like I like a movie that gets in my head a little more and stays with me, makes me think a little. Like, oh dang, what if that? You know what I mean? It's like that makes you think about stuff. Just like the Alien movies. When it's just like Independence Day was cool, but it was more like I like more Signs or one of my favorite movies, Contact. Oh my God, we've got it. We haven't done Contact. Have we done Signs? I think we did. Did we do Signs?
No.
We need to do Contact and Signs. Those are two of my favorite movies. Great movies. And
Signs is one of my favorites.
Contact, the way they did that. Oh my. It's just such a great movie, but that one, like, to this day, sometimes I'll just think about that movie and think about what they said. Like, it really got, like how you said the platform, it really stuck in my head. Yeah. So,
so I think that's why I like this movie. It was a deeper message. Yeah. There was much more to it about society, and I think that's the whole point of it, is not just to be like in your face crazy gore. It was more of just like, think about the message, think about what's happening in here and how this really reflects on ourselves and just being in the world. It's just like we're basically on our own platform at this point, and we can only survive when it comes to whatever we can grab, basically, whatever we can buy, whatever we can survive on, and how much bigger of a house we can have, or better cars. It's all relevant, and that's why I liked it. I didn't like it because of the ending. So,
of course.
Yeah, that was the only. I mean, I would have given it 5 if it weren't for the ending.
And then like my we haven't rated it yet. Don't get to the rating yet. We haven't done our ratings.
Oh, sorry.
The rating's at the end of the show.
Okay, well, I'm not giving
it a 5.
Spoiler,
you already know she's not giving a 5. Everyone's like, I'm not even watching the rest.
It's not an Erin pick.
But God darn, there was a main point I wanted to make about it, and I got sidetracked because I was being respectful and I listened to you and I didn't interrupt you, so I lost my point.
Yeah, that's why you interrupt, because I gotta make my point.
No, honestly, to God, that really is why I interrupt a lot, is because I forget my points so easily. Like if I don't get it out, I really should have, when we do this, I like how we're talking about how we should do this just live.
How we should do our movie reviews?
Who cares? We're talking
this
about
is all trial and error right now.
You either like us or you don't, okay? So, but we should have a little pad, and I should, like, seriously, we're talking, and then I could write that down.
Just write down, like,
yeah, and then when it's my
just
turn
write
to
a
look
word
at
and be
it
like,
again.
oh yeah.
Because I notice that happens with both of us way more me. Where we'll start to talk and then forget if the other one says something, we forget where we were going and everything. So we'll try to do that. But well, anyways, I forgot the main point I was making. But oh no, I just remembered it. So the book he brought was Don Quixote.
Right.
Don Quixote, however you say it. Which I have not read, but I understand that just the story about him going crazy and the windmills became, all this kind of stuff. So it's really kind of, I bet you if you knew that story more, there'd be a lot more things you could relate to what was happening. There's a reason they picked that book for something.
They had to have, yeah.
And how much did the book actually, we say, oh, you brought a book, but it did help him, remember? Because there was times he was reading it and he kept his sanity by being able to read it.
Yeah, and he read it to his partner that was in there, who was also a little crazy, but they actually became friends.
Yes, and he brought him down from his craziness by being able
to read every night.
So it actually
and then he started eating it, so it was like...
so,
I mean, he survived on eating the pages for a few days, so that was good.
You never know where,
no nutritional factor whatsoever, so don't eat a book, but... I mean, it keeps you from feeling hungry, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, at least...
If you wet it down, because they had water.
Well, and you got to figure out, at the very least, all your stomach acids are just in there. There's nothing in there, so your stomach's just eating itself.
Yeah.
So at least it gives it something to attack. And
I'll try.
Yeah, at least it saves the lining of your stomach for a little while, hopefully, is probably what you're thinking,
Right.
But then again, too, when your stomach has nothing in it, your body's so weak and depleted, your immune system's so weak to eat a bunch of ink. A bunch of ink and
papers.
Not be good for you. I don't know. Is that,
Maybe it's actually like
but at the same time, I can't imagine you're making the greatest decisions when you're because
I don't think you're surviving much longer when you're in the platform. Honestly, even if you did get out, I think you're pretty affected for the rest of your life.
And I'm sorry we keep bringing this back to Naked and Afraid, but you see on there. How when they don't have water and hungry, how your brain just shuts down.
Yeah, you can tell they're just like...
Yeah, not only does your body shut down from the weakness, but like it's hard to think. It's hard to process, like, wait a minute, I need to... No, I should have this over here. Like, simple stuff. You start losing
like,
simple
I need to go
skills.
find food, and they're like moving around like it's like the toughest thing in the world. And you're like, oh, God.
Yeah, some of those people, I'm like, dude, this might have been more detrimental for their body overall than...
I would think so. Well, that's what they were saying. They did those...
follow-ups.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people that said that they ended up... having eating problems.
Get a disease and stuff
they got diseases. And
fortunately, as far as I know, nobody's died on the show.
Think
so thank God.
Or anybody died from it.
Yeah, but the people that it doesn't make weaker, it probably makes stronger because your body gets more resilient, knows how to survive when you don't have food in it.
I mean, clearly some of them came back and did it again,
and
again and again.
Just covered in bug bites, and their body was able to fight all that crap off.
Oh my God!
I mean, your body once what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Although I do like Norm Macdonald's saying, what doesn't kill you usually makes you much weaker and will probably kill you the next time.
that's more factual.
That's how the saying should go, actually. So you don't get stronger when you get your head beaten. Oh, I'm much stronger now. Just gotta survive.
This is good. No, you're pretty weak now. You're just messed up.
Okay, so do you want any more you want to talk about?
No, I think that was good. I think we kind of made the gist. I think you should definitely watch it.
Yeah. If you ever watched it and that didn't pique your interest, then
if you have watched it, let us know what you think, and if you think we're right about our theories of it being relevant to how we live today.
And also what I'd like to know is any of you that have read the Don Quixote story or know the story really well and watched the movie, am I wrong?
I've never watched it. I've never read it.
I never have either, but like I said, I know the gist of the story a little bit, so I can see how it seems like it makes sense with going crazy and all this kind of stuff. But I would imagine someone out there that's read it and watched the movie could probably pick up on more things. So this is why they did it, or did you notice this part? So I would love for you guys to tell us that down below. I don't know why people always do some videos down below. Like you don't know where the comments are.
So, the comment.
Yeah, hey,
on this comment right here.
Let me know in the comments up here in this section. Who watches a YouTube video and thinks the comments are up above the video? Or to the side of it.
Yeah, look at that comment.
Yeah, nobody does that. But yet, for some reason, every video down below, down there, guys, just so you know. So, and leave a like and subscribe and all that good stuff. That really helps.
Follow us. We're gonna try and keep doing this.
We'll try to keep up on
it more often. I know, like we said, we have the two children, so they kind of take over our lives, and we don't have a lot of alone time to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. So,
or other things. But we that was too far.
Wow.
The thing I want to say is what kick us back into gear to doing this is the main reason because we love doing it. We enjoy doing it. We have a lot of fun doing it. We like watching movies. We love being together. That's the main reason. But also, it's been almost 2 years, and I was looking at my phone the other day. It's been so long. I said, Beth, look at this. Days and Confused had like 300-something views. And so people were still watching it, even
when we stopped doing it.
We're not like gaining tons of subscribers or tons of views or anything like that, or likes or anything like that. So we're still so small time that we're not in the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. you obviously gotta get a little bigger before you get in that, and then hopefully it starts to snowball. That's what we hope to eventually happen, because honestly, this is so much more fun when you have a community, when you build friends and you have certain people you see
in the
comment on
comments
your videos.
all the time. Yeah, you give their own opinions as well.
Yeah, you really build a community relationship. And to me, that's gotta be the best thing about making it big in YouTube or something like that. Is the community that you build. You know, obviously, the bigger you get, the more you have people that, your head's too big, stop interrupting, you guys are dorks, you're gonna have more hate, obviously, the bigger you get, but who cares? And that's another good thing about starting a YouTube or a show when you're a little bit older, is you don't really care about that kind of stuff. Like, 21, 22, 19, 18, I would have been like, oh, they said this, I know.
I would have been obsessed
now
at
it's
20
I could
something.
care less, say whatever you want, next, here's, I'm only gonna engage with people that genuinely want to engage. People are just trying to tear you down.
It's
who cares?
whatever.
Who cares about people trying to tear you down?
Do you, but it's not gonna affect me.
You do you, we do us.
We do us.
You do you, we do woo.
We do woo.
We do woo.
We do woo.
You do you, we do woo. Who the hell's woo?
Okay, so do you want to start?
Yes, so on the platform, it's close to 5 because I really like it, but it's 4. Because it's not a perfect movie. That, like I said, the ending. Actually, you already kind of gave it away earlier, but I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
It would probably be a 5. If they had a good ending, I would probably say, boom, this is one of my favorite movies.
It was a strong contender all the way up until like literally the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like. Oh.
So 4, so I give it a 4, and you same thing.
I think it would be a 4. Yeah, it would have been a 5, but that ending just made me so very, very mad.
You were saying that.
So very, very mad.
But we definitely would recommend watching it. I would.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I do have a question about how the platform was actually going down though. There's no wires. How is it moving? How did it go down that many floors?
That's a good question.
It was just like floating in midair.
Because like you imagine in your head kind of having like a pillar thing in the middle and going down like that.
Yeah.
But clearly when you see it, when they show it coming down, it doesn't have that.
Right.
And when you see it going down, there's nothing.
Because if they had wires, then people would just be climbing up this wire all the time. So how did it even happen?
Yes.
How was it even a thing?
That was a great question.
Yes. So that was my thing. That was my big like. What?
And before you knock us, this is not one of the the movie recording has been stopped. Oh gosh darn it. Well, that just happened, so we got most of it there.
Okay.
So let's.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna end this now.
So the battery died on the memory card was full on my camera here, so it cut us off. So we were kind of talking there for a minute. So I think we left off basically just saying we didn't understand the platform thing of
how it was just floating in air. Yeah, maybe it was magnets.
Which is a good question. So if you have an answer to that, go ahead and oh no, I don't have my glasses on. This is gonna look so inconsistent from the earlier part of the video. Oh no.
And plus, like more of us is showing here.
Yeah, well, because I had to take the camera down, take the card out, put it all back up. So of course you never get the camera positioned exactly how it did before. So yeah, it does. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, you're way over
all
the
right,
side.
well, whatever. Yeah, this is the end.
All right, let's just end this.
Yeah. So
okay.
anyways,
we rated it. We're good.
4. What did we rate it? I forgot.
4. We both gave it 4.
Yeah. Yeah, but the platform, check it out. I think you guys will like it.
Netflix.
Erin and Clinton's movie reviews. Thanks for checking us out.
Bye.
See you on the next one.